Hey guys, so today I'm going to be talking about using AI to dig into a digital gold mine, and I will tell you exactly what I mean by that. So basically this is a video about a case study with real results and a real client, and I will tell you more about that. So yeah, let's go quickly through the outline. First, I will tell you a little bit more about the main issue that most business owners have out there. I will tell you more about the clients. Then I will tell you about our main process that we had to go through. Of course, I will not go through the technical, specifications and details, but at least the main outline. And then obviously I will tell you more about the results, what have we achieved. And then I will tell you about the huge gold mine opportunity. And finally, some last words, if you want to apply this for your own business. Okay, so now let's start with the main issue. Basically, a lot of businesses generate leads continuously every time, whenever it is on referral or using Facebook ads or using Google ads and so on. However, they convert only a fraction of those leads into clients. And then the rest of the leads are considered as dead because they didn't convert at the moment they were generated. But the thing is that it's not because a lead expressed interest for a service at some point that they won't express the same interest later on in the future. So many times it's just an issue about timing, and you could convert the same lead later on. So basically, databases of old leads represent a great potential that waits to be exploited. And how to exploit it? Using reactivation with AI and automation. So basically, it's like planting hundreds of fruit trees and then forgetting about them. The trees are full of fruits, but nobody's picking it. Now, concerning the client, I already made a video about AI speed to lead. So basically, this is the same client. The first project that we did for them was an AI database reactivation project, which is what I'm showing through this video. And then the second time was this AI speed to lead. So basically, as a reminder, they are a real estate company in Canada. They have many agents working for them, and each month they could generate around 1,000 to 1,500 leads every single month on average. And then their CRM contains more than 110,000 leads that are considered as dead. So basically leads that were generated before and that didn't convert. The oldest leads dates back to 2020. So basically what we did for them is that we took a list of their leads that are considered as dead. It's mainly a CSV file that contains 2,000 rows and also multiple columns that are just exported from their CRM basically. And then we clean it. First, we get rid of the leads that are in the do not contact list. So it's basically a list where like every Canadian citizen can register into. Basically, we had to build like an agent that would log in into like a platform. And this platform basically allows you to check whether a number is in this list or not. We also had to fix some phone number formats. Sometimes the leads will not use like a Canadian number, and we had to just get rid of those users. We also had to delete non-serious leads because sometimes the leads, instead of their first name, they will just write the address of the property, or they will write some numbers and some weird characters. And we knew that those leads were not really serious, and we just, deleted them. And then we created an AI agent that will talk to the lead via SMS. So basically, the AI would qualify the lead, would ask a bunch of questions depending whether the lead is a buyer, is a seller, or an investor. And then the main objective would be to book an appointment. I didn't, totally integrate with the CRM because it was too much work. However, the main objective is that we let the employee know. Basically, there was like an employee at that company that I had contact with every single day, and whenever inside the conversation the lead expressed interest into a meeting, then the AI would ask about the date and time, and then whenever there is an agreement, there was an email that was sent to this employee about this lead basically. And then we created a web chat interface the client can connect to, so that him and his team can act as a lead to test the AI, see how it answers, and so on. And then so that we can have like a final validation of the AI before launching it to real leads. Then we created the actual infrastructure, which is about sending the SMS, storing and pulling the messages, also delaying the AI answer so that it doesn't feel like an AI and so that it looks realistic, because at some point, at first, I didn't really think about that, and some leads, I mean, very few of them actually knew that it was an AI because the answers were too fast. So yeah, I was delaying that by 30 seconds, sometimes 1 minute. And then obviously I had to also build everything related to the automation of notifications, and I also had to code everything to pull the analytics. So to generate the answer rate, the opt-out rate, the booking rate, and also how many people were interested but didn't book a meeting. So those leads were important to know because the realtors would need like a manual follow-up with them. We also needed to analyze the conversation to detect the leads that need like manual follow-up, because I mean, if we have, I don't know, 50 leads, we can do that manually. But if you have 2,000 or 10,000 leads, you cannot do that manually, and you need code to automatically detect interest inside the conversation. The conversation workflow was super simple. First, we obviously send the first message, and then we send a bump number 1, which is another text message if the lead doesn't answer after 24 hours. And then we do the same with bump number 2 if the lead doesn't answer 48 hours after the first message. And then, as I told you, we send the manual follow-up for leads who responded positively but stopped answering. Now we move on to the juicy part, which is the results. So actually we did 2 campaigns for them. The first campaign, we actually contacted 1,708 leads. Those leads were generated from 2021 up to 2025. The answer rate was 26%, but actually like a high answer rate doesn't mean necessarily a good thing, because you could have many people just answering stop, because by compliance you need the first message to say at the end, please reply stop if you want to opt out. You just need to take this into consideration when doing this for your business. At the end, there were 29 leads interested, or 2.28%, and then 8 booked a meeting, which is 0.47%. And in total, we had 24% opt-out rate, or 404 leads. The second campaign, we contacted 1,500 leads. Those were generated mainly in 2024. We had an answer rate of 37%. 29 were interested, and 4 ended up booking a meeting. And we had an opt-out rate of 21%. So first, we had some nice findings. What is the common point between all the leads who booked an appointment? We figured out that most of them already exchanged a text message calls with realtors. So it means that they already had like some sense of familiarity about the agency and the realtors that interacted with them, basically. And also we can convert leads that were generated back in 2021. So basically 4 years ago, if a lead was generated, know that we can still, generate a meeting with them. And the third finding is that obviously the leads who are the most recent are the easier to convert into meetings. Okay, so to be honest, I felt, underwhelmed by the results, because I was expecting at least a 1% or a 1.5% booking rate. In my opinion, it means one of 2 things. Either, the agency is pretty good at converting serious leads, but if you have seen my AI speed to lead video, you know that it is not the case. And the second option is that the leads in their markets are very fast, which means that they go quickly to the competition if they don't get contacted from an ad. So yeah, for me, it's the most plausible explanation from what I have seen by implementing a speed to lead solution to them. So yeah, at least, I got real data from a real company for this agency, and then I'm pretty sure this solution could be super useful for many niches and industries all around the US and Canada. So now we move on to an interesting part, which is the huge goldmine opportunity. And what I did is that I simulated how much money is left on the table by this owner by not re-engaging with his old leads. Basically, what's the cost of inaction? To this day, they have around 110,000 leads, so specifically 110,635 dead leads. 80% will be ready to be contacted, because on average, after cleaning and getting rid of people who are in the DNC list, 80% are left and ready to be contacted. Which means 88,508 leads to reactivate. Then let's assume the booking rate is 0.37%, which is the average of those two. So as a quick reminder, we had a booking rate for the first campaign of 0.47 and another one of 0.27. So we said that the average would be 0.37%, which is 327 meetings. For them, they have around 50% show up rate, which means 173 people would show up, and then a closing rate of 33%. So 1/3 of the people that show up in a meeting ends up being a client. And the owner makes on average 5,000 Canadian dollars per client, which means that the owner should earn $270 Canadian dollars or $194,000, a little bit less than 200k USD basically. The cost of inaction is $194,000, and this cost keeps increasing over time, because if you don't do anything, you keep the leads piling up in your CRM, and they're not re-engaged, they're not reactivated, so yeah, you're just losing money. Also, you need to know that it's cheaper to re-engage old leads who already know you, know your company and your brand, than pay for new leads. And before the creation of all those tools that enable AI and automation, it would be too expensive to do this setup, because it would mean you would hire a call center that would keep calling, all those leads, and then you don't know if they answer, and then you will have to pay a lot. But then with AI and automation, it makes it very scalable and cost effective, to do this operation. So AI database reactivation is a huge goldmine of an opportunity for many businesses. The first one is the type of business who have a high lifetime value, like insurance or financial advisors. The second type of business that could benefit from this are the business with high ticket services, like coaching or home services, for example, kitchen remodeling or roofing. Then the third type of business that could benefit from this are the high volume businesses, like furniture stores. We could re-engage with cart abandoners, or for example, weight loss clinics. Now, some few last words about this case study and this AI service. If you're a business owner, your fastest wins could be hidden in plain sight. Some leads you consider as dead aren't really dead, they were just waiting for the right timing. AI is not about new shiny tools. It's about applying AI to what you already have to extract as much value as possible. So, if you're a business owner, the smart move will be the following. You need to do a test, to assess the value of your database. You could choose 2,000 leads that are old, and then re-engage with them, check the results, and then apply the same process to the rest of the database if the results are good enough. So yeah, that was it, guys. That was a simple case study of an AI database reactivation. If you're a business owner watching this and you are interested into learning more, you can book a meeting with me via the Calendly link in the description. Cheers, guys.